Today is kind of very different. I am very excited to introduce Bodhi. Kai Bodhi. I always say Kai. I don't say your last name.
That's okay.
And Kai is, to me, one of the few people that I know who is a peak performance coach. I didn't realize that like these type of coaches exist until I went into a $30,000 mastermind. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is real, this is reality. And it makes me really excited to be able to bring him in and kind of share his gift to you guys in terms of peak performance, which talks about how do we really get focused and how do we deliver. Here's what's really important and what I'm excited for. How do we deliver it virtually? How do we help you guys through the camera and your Facebook group? Because now with COVID, now especially with quarantine times, we want to, some of you guys are feeling cabin fever, maybe feeling overwhelmed. Hashtag overwhelmed if you feel overwhelmed. If you guys feel cabin fever, let me know. Hashtag cabin fever. Do you feel kind of suffocated at home? During these times, I feel like we need people like Kai more than ever. And before we go into that, I kind of want to have Kai tell us about himself, because some of you guys might not know who Kai is. Some of you guys do. And I want to let him kind of take it away. Kai has a really cool, interesting story where he lived in China for many years and with like learning this stuff. So, all right, Kai, kind of take it away. Tell us what got you into peak performance and this journey of figuring out what works in terms of mind and body for a lot of busy entrepreneurs.
Yeah, well, the first thing I'll kind of start on the opposite end of the journey. And Kim, thank you for that generous introduction. I'm an entrepreneur. I built my own coaching practice. You know, I invested $50,000 in receiving business coaching, and what I learned was that the stuff that I had spent 10 years in China learning, how to breathe, how to meditate, how to move your body, that busy people needed that more than ever. And the thing that was even cooler to me is that if you go into the journals of neuroscience or peak performance or leadership, all of the things that I had learned are being verified by science. Like how we breathe affects how our heart beats, affects how our brain waves work, right? How we hold our posture. If we get curled over and sad, our posture controls our mood. So like we get ourselves depressed by looking down and rolling our shoulders, but we can also open up and get in a power posture and get more confidence if it's before a sales call or before a Facebook Live. So how I got into it though was really through my family. My family, I had illnesses. My mother and my brother both had really severe illnesses that Western medicine didn't have any good answers for. And as a young man who loved my mother and loved my brother, I really wanted to find the answers. And I found them in Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine. And that led me on a journey to go to China and to study those movement practices and spend time in hospitals where Western medicine and Chinese medicine were practiced right next to each other. And maybe most importantly, to meet these incredible senior citizens that were in their 60s, 70s, and 80s and had no dementia, no posture problems, very healthy, very alive, enjoying their life. And so, you know, and often they had worked very hard jobs like farming or in a factory. And so I saw that something they were doing was working, and I've been working to bring that back to people here in the United States who are really busy.
Oh, wow. So it's very much family driven. I love that. I love that. Like you took it into your own hands to go and figure it out. Tell me about your journey in, living in China. Like what got you there? Like how did you find the hookups?
Well, I mean, the first thing that happened was when I studied psychology in college, and when I got out of college, I just got really interested because of my mother and my brother in the connection between the mind and the body. Like I saw that medications can do so much, but if you're depressed, if your thinking is not right, then you have it doesn't work very well, and it has a lot of problems. So anyway, to be honest, I was taking every yoga class, every Tai Chi class. I was getting hypnosis. I was hanging out with all these kind of middle-aged, new age women were like my best friends in America. And all the money that I was making from working with troubled youth, troubled kids as a psychologist, all of the money was getting spent on yoga classes. And I started to research that, in China, where they treat hundreds of thousands of people every day with traditional medicine, with breathing, with movement, that you could go there and go to the park and study for free. You could learn it because it was part of the culture. So honestly, I bought a plane ticket and I just went over there to kind of find out for myself. It was an answer to a calling. How did I get the hookups when I was there? I learned the language, and I started to be able to speak to teachers. Most of those teachers, those doctors, don't speak English. So I had to stay long enough to find the teachers that were teaching the practices that I wanted to learn, that were effective, that weren't superstitious. And I had to learn to speak the language, so I didn't have to go through a translator who was often unreliable, because it's just very hard to translate some of that terminology into English, especially for a native Chinese speaker who doesn't specialize. So anyway, that's how I got through it.
Doug says, "Oh yeah, right. Like my wife would let me hang with new age women." All right, Doug. And
Doug, is it because they're women or because they're new age? Which is the objection your wife would have to it? I'm just curious. Or is it both of those together, Doug? So anyway, for the last 5 years, I've been mainly working with entrepreneurs who don't have time to take a yoga class, who don't have time to go to China to learn Tai Chi. And I've been showing them how to microdose 5-minute practices throughout their day that really increase their energy and their clarity and their focus, that really help them interrupt the stress patterns. Doug says both. So.
All right, so I want us to get into that, and I love your story. I love the fact that you're like, you know what, I want to figure out, so I'm gonna get on a plane and I'm gonna freaking go there. It's the same mentality I have with like any kind of really business. Like I got into importing and exporting, and I met a couple of just people for 2 days in an eBay conference, and they're like, yeah, come meet us in China. I'm like, when? They're like, next month, October. And I said, okay. So I booked a ticket to meet these strangers that I know for 1 day in China. And we actually we met up and we actually toured a lot of factories together. I was able to sat in on a lot of meetings with these factory owners to figure out what really is the truth. But if I didn't say yes to, okay, let's go to China and let's just, just like dive into this world where people were speaking Chinese to me, thinking I'm Chinese. And I'm like, no, I can't. So I love your attitude. Guys, the value of this interview today is the exercises. So we're actually going to go through them. So this is not just, if you have your phone in front of you, put it down and look at us, but we're actually going to stand and do these exercises. So take it away, Kai. And guys, if you're entering, I want to say hi to hey Nhi, hey Sharon, hey Vincent, hey Peter, hey Tuan. Thanks for joining, you guys. Hashtag I'm alive if you guys are just joining, and let's do this exercise together. I'm really not crazy dressed for this exercise, but we're gonna play music and we're going to do it. And I don't believe a lot of people experience this, especially virtually.
Okay. So let me just share a quick little bit. So the first thing is, those of you that are listening, I'm curious if you were to estimate how much time do you lose every day to being distracted, to being overwhelmed, to being tired, to switching between tasks that aren't necessarily the best, highest leverage tasks. If you were to guess, and then I'll give you the research-based answer, how many hours or minutes do you lose every day to multitasking, distraction, overwhelm, fatigue? Facebook, Netflix, whatever it is. So I'd love to see. And by the way, Kai Green, I love that name. Kai, that's a great name. I'm glad that I have a namesake on here with me. So as you guys are putting in the number of hours or minutes that you waste, I will tell you, even for people like Kim, I'm not saying this is Kim, but even for high performers like Kim, the research shows that they are wasting 1 to 3 hours a day in the way that they're working, in the way that they're multitasking. So someone says 5 hours, very honest, thank you. And so when I speak on stages, I always, Kai says 120 minutes, so 2 hours, right? Something a little over 2 hours. So what I ask people is, how much is an hour of your time worth? How much is an hour of your time worth? Most people say $100, $300, $500, whatever it is. So I said, do the math. If you could get those hours back, what would you do with that lost time? 2 hours at the gym. I don't know if that's wasted time though. If you're exercising, that could be useful time. Anyway, the bottom line is you can get the time back. And I want to share with you where the time is going. And it's a triangle that's based on the world today, with everything that's happening with COVID, with the rioting. We are more stressed out in the body than ever before. And that's because of something called uncertainty. There's uncertainty in our businesses. There's uncertainty in the political climate. And no matter whether you fall on the left or the right or in the middle of your views, there is more stress for you to handle than ever before. And what that means is there's a triangle that will suck out your energy, clarity, and focus. And I call that the triangle of thieves. Distraction, overwhelm, fatigue. Distraction, overwhelm, fatigue. Those things, the more distracted you are, the more overwhelmed you get. The more overwhelmed you get, the harder it is to focus, the more tired you get. And they suck energy out of your system. What we want is the power triangle, which is energy, clarity, and focus. So we're going to do a practice to help you get into energy, clarity, and focus, and cut through the BS, cut through the stuff you shouldn't be doing, that you don't need to be doing, help you show up for your meetings, your lives, your business decisions, your enrollment calls, your classes with Kim, all of it. All right, so here we go. You're going to stand up. This is a breathing exercise to help your nervous system get better at handling stress. Now, watch first. I'm going to take you through the movement. The movement is simple. Your hands are together and your knees are bent, and then you're going to open your arms and look up and bring your shoulders back and down. So from the side, it looks like this. Simple. Open the heart, shoulders back and down, look up slightly. Don't crink your neck. And then on the exhale, you're going to come forward. Oh, you're going to come forward and squat down. So this is the inhale. This is the exhale. In, out. Inhale's like a breath through the nose and stretch. Exhale, you squat and squeeze. Squeeze your feet in your shoes. Squeeze your fists. Squeeze your jaw. Okay, so that's the movement. Okay, so Kim's showing you the other angle. Great. Now, when we take a few of these breaths, after I'm going to say, last one, hold. You're going to inhale, one hand on heart, one hand on your belly. This is biofeedback. Swallow your saliva. That turns on the relaxation response. Relax your shoulders. And the last part is you're going to open your lips and you're going to exhale as if you're breathing out through a really thin coffee straw. And what this does is it strengthens your nervous system's ability to go between getting shit done, action, and resting and recovering, which we are really poor at because we're so stressed out. All right, so forget all those instructions. I'm going to play some music and I'll guide you through.
Hey guys, this is like a really cool, so participate, even if your body is telling you no.
All right, so first thing is hand on heart, hand on navel. Close your eyes. Right now, check in on your mind. Start to listen to the thoughts in your head. Notice if that voice in your head is loud. Notice if it's positive or negative. Is the voice in your head supporting your business and your life, or is it kind of stressing you out? And give your internal dialogue, your mindset, your mental state, give it a score 1 to 10. How supportive is it of your business and your life right now? 10 out of 10 is the most supportive. 1 out of 10 would mean it's really unsupportive. It's stressed out. It's negative. All right, once you got your number, bring your mind or your awareness into your chest center, the seat of your emotional intelligence. And just notice what emotions are present for you. As you've been doing your business, your Facebook group, your work, what kind of emotional backdrop have you been in today?
They said louder volume on your end. I think your microphone is really loud, but the computer music is not that loud. So just a little bit louder.
Got it. I turned it up. So
okay.
Checking into your heart, noticing what's the emotional backdrop. Our emotional intelligence is a huge part of our success. And it starts with being able to know what you're feeling right now. Our emotions drive us, they pull us forward, they motivate us, they reward us. And just give your emotional state a score on a scale from 1 to 10. 10 out of 10 being super supportive. 1 out of 10 being very, very unsupportive. Give yourself a score. All right, finally, drop into your body by breathing in the belly. Feel this lower hand. Nice deep breaths in the belly, and just notice how's your body doing today? Are you tired? Are you energized? Are you in pain, or do you get a lot of pleasure from your body? How's your sleep, your diet, your exercise? What's your body asking you for? And then just drop in and ask yourself, on a scale from 1 to 10, how supportive is your body, your energy, your physicality? How supportive is that of your life and your business? 10 out of 10 being very supportive. 1 out of 10 not very supportive. All right, hands together. On the count of 3, we're gonna breathe together. I'm gonna go nice and slow, so just follow along. 1, 2, inhale nose. 3, exhale through the mouth. Now breathe in and open. Inhale nose. Exhale mouth. Stretch and open, inhale. Squat and squeeze, exhale through the mouth. In through the nose, deepest possible breath. Out through the mouth. Flexing and extending your spine. Getting more blood flow to your organs. Slow it down. Last one, inhale and hold. Inhale, hand on heart, hand on navel, swallow saliva, relax shoulders, open your mouth and exhale through a pinhole. Slow, quiet exhale through pursed lips, gently bringing your navel, your abdomen back toward your spine. Let that top hand slide down to the bottom, so both hands are over the belly, and take 3 belly breaths. Some of you may already know that in your navel, in the small intestine, in the gut, is where you produce the antidepressant medicine inside the body, the dopamine and serotonin, mainly produced in the gut. So just relax. I will do one more time, just so you get the technique. One more time. 1. Kim, hands back together at the heart. Last one. 1, 2, inhale nose. 3, exhale mouth. Breathe in and open.
Oh, sorry.
In nose, out mouth. Look at it from the side. Open and close. In nose, out mouth. Inhale, slow it down. Last one, inhale and hold. Hand on heart, hand on navel. Swallow saliva, relax shoulders. Open the lips, exhale as long as you can. So slow, so quiet. You wouldn't be able to blow out a candle. It's so subtle. When there's nothing left to exhale, just bring this top hand down to the bottom. 3 belly breaths. Now, as you breathe in the belly, notice the changes in your internal dialogue, in the mind chatter. How has the mind chatter shifted? And on a scale from 1 to 10, has your number changed in terms of how supportive of your life and business it is? Drop into your chest. Notice any changes in your emotions. If you were to reassess your emotions on a scale from 1 to 10, how supportive is your current emotional state of your life and your business and your well-being? And then dropping all the way down to the body. What are the sensations you notice in your body after doing that breathing practice? Go ahead and rub your belly. Just rub the belly. All right. All right. So if you guys can share in the chat, anybody that participated, hopefully you didn't pass out from that. That's the only danger. But what did you notice in your body? Kim, let's start with you. What do you notice when you do that?
I noticed that it gave me it carved out time for me to think about my body and to think about how my body aligns with my mentality. And I don't think I do that enough for my own self. And when I think about at the very beginning, everything, it feels more. And then afterwards, after the breathing exercise, it feels like the whole action of breathing in strongly and exhaling strongly makes me feel more like I have power and I have strength. And that contributes to feeling more calm, like I can handle more just by merely really doing it powerfully. Yeah.
So Doug shared that his Doug, I'm sorry that you're in pain, and I'm so glad that the pain level came down. The breathing, because it puts more oxygen into the body, it lowers inflammation and it opens up blood flow. We could do a whole 30 minutes or an hour on the science behind that technique, but I'll just say it doesn't require any religion or superstitious beliefs. It's oxygen, it's blood flow, and it's affecting your nervous system through the autonomic nervous system. Kai says, I feel much better and more relaxed. The stress I was holding in my shoulders is gone, right? Like when parts of our business are stuck, it's painful. When there's not enough influx of cash, it's painful. The body's the same way. When stuff is stuck from stress and patterns, we get low energy, we get more pain. That's the body's message to say, slow down. So another person said, the change was 335 to 346. Only at 2 points better afterwards. Maybe if we had done the technique a couple more times, it's really good for a complete reset. And yeah, Doug's saying he's got constant pain from blowing disc, but he uses his pain as a barometer for how well he's doing. Yeah. And then Doug, could you imagine being without pain? Like, what would your life be like without pain? Is that even a possibility that you consider? Yeah, and so the first time you try it, we could have done it a couple more times. I'm always cautious of business people thinking that breathing is weird and it's strange. And I'll just share with you that it is. And I think it's also weird to not listen to your body to the point that you have to have a disease or a symptom for your body to get your attention. You know, we don't make the changes that our life is asking us to make. We ignore the stress for money and for success. But then in the end, we end up having to have medical bills or things like that. So my message is, it doesn't require you to become a yogi or go to another country or even take a week-long class. It just requires you to learn a few simple ways to intercept stress, so that when you fall off your horse of what you're focusing on and what you're working on, you have a way to reset your nervous system so you can get back on track. And it's hard to do it with thinking alone, because your body is in control of so much of your mind. The body's way stronger than the mind. And so if we don't know how to work with the body, the mind is always having to use willpower, which is really challenging. So anyway, Kim, what do you think?
I love it. And you guys, like, I know when we go live and we teach business related tactics and things like that, there's all these insights that come in that's like, oh, I can do this and I can do that. And I feel like we kind of, like, when I saw that we can carve out time to address how our body reacts to our mind and how strong our body is. And when I saw what Kai was doing, I was like, yes, Kai, come into my group. Even though most of the time business is prioritized and it's a topic, I still want to be able to let you guys know that this is what exists. This is what we can do in a virtual manner. This is what we can do just before our meetings. And it is simple breathing exercises, but I wouldn't say super simple. I would say you can do it. And it allows us to really take the time to think about our body. And let me know, how often do you think about like your body and your breathing? Peter says, was trying to do the movement right. Yeah, so a lot of you guys, this is your first time, so don't beat yourself up for it. Say, oh, I didn't do it the right way. Maybe we'll go again. Doug says, I would probably miss the pain. I've had it in the background for so long. It doesn't stop me from doing whatever I need to do. That's awesome, Doug. You just plow through the pain. And Peter says, I think I wasn't relaxed enough. So before we do the exercise, do you have anything that we have to like do beforehand mentally to prepare, or just like jump right into it? Or should you be in a location in your house, or do you just do it in front of your computer?
Well, those are all great questions. I would say there's about 5 different techniques that I teach my clients. So one is stretching, because when the muscles are tight, we're going to be in pain and we're going to have low energy. There's a big study around entrepreneurs and corporate men that when their hamstrings are really tight, they have very low energy. So there's a correlation between tight muscles and low energy. So one is stretching. Stretching is so important. 2 is the breathing. The breathing is the fastest way to change your mood, change your state. Like, one of the big things, especially with COVID and quarantine, so many of the people out there are working from home. And now the stress of their work is going into their family. And they don't even leave the office to go somewhere else. It's all in the house. And so if you want to keep your marriage or your relationship, or you want to make sure that even on a really busy day when your family's a little bit stressed out, that you don't take that to your clients or your lives or your Facebook group, it's so powerful to be able to say, oh, I'm in a low energy, contracted state right now. I can do 5 minutes of breathing and I'm going to feel energized. My body's going to be open. My emotions are going to be free flowing. Like, that ability to choose how you feel and not be dependent on caffeine or whatever it is, it allows you to show up more for your family and more for your business. But the last thing I'll say, and then we can practice again, is habits and routines, like morning routine, evening routine. It's peak performance is completely different for men than it is for women. because of the hormonal cycles and our endocrine system. So when to do this breathing technique before a big sales call, before a Facebook Live. Do your stretching in between work and sleep, so the stress in the body is gone before you lay down to sleep. And where to do it? Wherever you can. I mean, my office here, you can't see it, but my meditation cushion is on the ground. My whiteboard's over here. I have a TRX to do exercise. Like I have everything in my office. I have water, I have supplements, I have a yoga mat, I have my film studio, my ring light. It's all here, so I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have any excuse.
Peter says, I focus on breathing while doing them. Maybe I could combine with this breathing technique. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I can give you the most basic version of this technique. Let's try a different version. So our brain has our forebrain, our midbrain, and
before we do that, let me say, guys, if you are just joining right now, let us know, #live. And if you are watching the replay, then #replay. If you feel like this has been helping you, if you feel like, hey, I can do this. This is something that I can do. Let me know. Smash that heart button and #I can do this. If you feel like you can do this yourself, I really want to introduce you guys to this method, this technique. And I haven't, like, honestly, Kai is the only person I see introducing me to this world. And so it's like such a great gift. Okay, Kai, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so we have 3 parts of our brain. We're not going to get too deep, but it's the frontal lobe. That's what makes us human. We can visualize things. We can think about a business plan before we do it. But we also have a midbrain, which is an emotional brain. It's around, am I loved? Am I approved? It's trying to get approval. It wants to make sure that you have that. And then the brain stem is our reptile brain, and it wants us to be safe. The bottom line is, when you get triggered by stress, by family problems, by business challenges, most people get pushed out of the forebrain where they have all of their skill sets. They get pushed into the next question is, am I going to be loved? Am I going to be approved of? And then if the stress keeps going, they get into, I need to fight to survive, whether it's money or relationships. So the power of the breathing that we're going to do right now is when the brain gets hijacked by that animal brain, when we're in fight or flight, this short circuits that response so we can make better decisions. Now, let me give you a super simple version. So here's what we're going to do. Just on the count of 3, you're going to blow all your air out. 1, take a deep breath in through the nose. 2, hold it. 3, exhale all your air, blow it out the mouth. Okay, relax, no air. And when you're ready, take a super deep breath. Straighten your spine. Now watch, take a couple sips through the mouth. Swallow, hold. Now open the lips and blow that air out as slow as you can through the lips. Slower, quieter. All right, 3 belly breaths. Notice the changes in your mind and in your body. Again, 1, 2, exhale all your air out. 3, inhale nose. Straighten your spine, expand your chest. Couple sips through the mouth to top it off. Swallow saliva, relax shoulders. Open the lips, exhale as quietly and slowly as you can. When there's no air left to exhale, come back to your belly breathing. We're going to do it one more time. 1. Everybody together. Inhale through the nose. 2. 3, exhale through the mouth, all the air, and relax your posture forward. When you're ready, deep inhale, straighten your spine. Expand your lungs. Couple sips through the mouth. Swallow saliva, relax shoulders, open the lips, exhale for a long time, quiet and slow. 3 belly breaths. Now just stay quiet for a moment. Slow down. Notice what's shifted. That was 3 breaths. Notice what's changed in your mind. Most of you will notice that that voice in your head slowed down. There's more space between your thoughts. Most of you will notice that your heart, your emotional energy and backdrop has become more peaceful, quieter, more clear. And most of you will know that the body feels lighter, more relaxed, more energized. Now we could use TV for this. We could use coffee. We could use cannabis. We could use Netflix. We could use heavy foods, or we could use our breath. But just, if I'm up on my soapbox for a minute, there is no better way to influence your state, which means to be able to show up however you need to show up, which means to get whatever result you want, than your breath. There's no easier way to influence how you show up than your breath. So slowly come back. And if you guys have a share out there that are watching live or you're watching on the replay, just go ahead and what did you experience if you did the technique? What changed? Definitely more space between thoughts. Love that. Yes.
Hey, Amit.
Such good engagement.
Yeah, guys. So tell me your thoughts in between. Did you have thoughts in between the space? Did you, when you were sitting in silence, did you feel like your mind expanded a little bit? Let me know. Hey, Kian. Yay, Kian. Kian is in Ignite. And so is Peter. Hey, Mitt. So Kian, we're going through really cool exercises that allows us the time and space to reconnect with our body as well as our mind. And I feel such a great tool. My thoughts have slowed down. Yeah, it's such a good tool because in between the silence, you feel like time pauses for a little bit. And I think just standing there, sitting in the silence without the noise of the shows and the world, it expands your capacity a little bit. Like that's how it feels to me. That's my share. And
Kim.
Yeah.
Kim.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So have you ever had, you guys that are listening, and Kim, have you ever had the experience where you're looking for your keys or your sunglasses or your phone, and you're late, you're in a hurry, you're stressed out, and you're looking everywhere and you can't find them, and you just finally sit down at the table and say, I can't find them, and you give up for a second, and right after you give up, boom, it pops into your mind where the keys are or where the phone is. Have you ever had that experience?
Yes. And if you guys can relate, #keys. Yes, I have experienced that. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to, what you shared, I just want to explain why and how it's valuable to people that are out in the world running businesses or, really up to getting things done, is that we have hot logic and cold logic. Hot logic is what almost everybody uses, like pros and cons, and let's apply this business strategy, let's do this. And cold logic is when you stop thinking about the problem and your subconscious mind starts to put together all the pieces, and when it has the answer, it presents it to you. Like Einstein got a lot of his ideas in his dreams, and then he would prove them through science. And there's a lot of business people who use their naps, like Google has nap pods inside of Google headquarters. Why? Because their employees get amazing ideas when they're not trying to think about the problem. So that spaciousness between thoughts allows yourself to get creative solutions to your problems and not be stuck in the same loops. So.
Oh, that's so good. Kai says, #keys. Kian, #keys. Peter says, I'm master, can breathe much slower. That's great. Yeah, I don't think it's normal for a lot of companies to allow nap times and to pay for idea time. I think Google also lets you sit there and just think. They pay you so you could just think, have time for yourself. And yeah, we don't do enough of that at all. I don't do enough of that.
Well, part of the reason that Google does that, besides that they can afford it, is that there's something called flow state, right? And when you're in flow state, you're up to 5 times more productive. And this big research company named the McKinsey study, they did a research study on executives and entrepreneurs, and they're 5 times more effective. So you could essentially get 5 days of work done in one day if you could be in flow state. But that's not realistic. But what is realistic is when you practice breathing and stretching and you dial in your food, your sleep, you can be in flow state about 20 minutes of every hour. 20 minutes of every hour. Just like running a good business. You're doing well and there's a problem like COVID. And then you have to pivot, you have to change. You're not making as much money, but you get new strategy from Kim and you figure out what to do, and boom, you're back in the driver's seat again. Just like that's the macro level, the big level. On the small level, that's how you're sleeping, that's how you're exercising, that's how you're managing your energy. So I really believe that like, we don't really have business problems, we have personal problems that show up in our business. Our business is a reflection.
Who here can relate to that? Hashtag relate. Like what you just said, I want to stop you there. We don't have business problems. We have personal problems that show up in our business. Hey, Omar, thanks for coming. Guys, if you find this interview so far very helpful and valuable, go ahead and smash that heart button. Give me the bro fist. And hashtag relate if you feel like, wow, like you really felt what Kai said right there, because when he said that, it made me like have like a bit of a skin tingle, and I'm like, yes, that is truth. Okay, go ahead, Kai.
No, that's it. I'm not like there's another peak performance expert specifically for business people named Bouchard, and he says that, the 2 reasons that people fail as entrepreneurs is, number 1, they don't have the skill to manage their energy, clarity, and focus. They don't have the skill to manage their sleep and their exercise and their life. So they break down from stress and they make poor business decisions. That's half of it. The other, including not rewarding themselves enough, not giving themselves enough rewards for those little victories and time off and all that. The other half is the actual business skill. The old school way was just teach business skill. But they would see, like, you teach the business skill and 10% or 20% of the people apply it and they get great results, and 60, 70%, they fail. Well, what's the difference? That 20% had good time management. They had good, they knew how to like time block. They knew how to sleep. They knew how to exercise. They were good at managing their personal energy. And the other people, not so good at that. So like, I think it's great for you to speak to your tribe about this, because, no matter how good the strategy is, it's only as good as the level of implementation. So anyway.
Yeah, and let me know, you guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you guys feel about managing your energy throughout the week? Do you carve out space for right before something big so you can focus on yourself? Do you have exercises where you really center your mind and your body? Do you do that? On a scale of 1 to 10, let me know in the comments. And then hashtag no clue if you're like, I have no idea. Omar says, Bouchard was one of the first business figures I follow when I got started. And hey, Christy, yay, Christy joined. And hey, Kian, King or Qing Zhao, I actually met her live at Tribe of Buyers, and she had this energy about her, and she was like the flow of the river type of energy style emanating from her body. So it's like,
I wonder. I wonder if it's pronounced Chien. Chien. I'd love to know how it's pronounced.
oh yeah, you can speak Chinese too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't
You
know
already know
if
how to
that's
pronounce it.
anyway. Well, we can find out her pronunciation later. I'm curious. Yeah,
Take
okay,
care.
Christy's here. Yeah. So yeah, so just know it's worth it to do it in advance. And some of these people are saying they're 7 out of 10 in terms of they have their own rituals and routines. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. 10 as in
Okay,
great.
awesome.
1 as
Yeah.
in no, not great at all.
Okay.
Kai says 7. Omar says 7. Great, you guys. It's a Chinese name, but Kian. 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 Yes. Kind of like, okay. Oh, Kian, I know. That's how you pronounce your name. I was talking about other Kian, but I already know how to pronounce your name, Kian. Kian's in my Ignite program. Hello from Ireland. Hey, guys. Hey, Margaret. Omar says, when I start the day with self-introspection and stuff, the rest of the day generally is very productive. All right. I know I want to respect your time, Kai, and I know you do have a call right after this.
Yeah.
So I do want to wrap it up. So I make sure you have time in between your call. So guys, this is just like a small sample of Kai, and that's why I brought Kai in, because I'm like, more people need to know about this and about you. So Kai actually coaches this for the year. He has year-long packages. He also has sessions. If you guys are interested in being able to pursue more of this, by the way, for those of you who are interested in Ignite, we are thinking of having Kai come in maybe once a month or twice a month to have these sessions be more full-blown, no intro needed, but it's so that we can take care of the mental, physical side of your year-long program, your year-long process, versus just all like business all the time. So, all right. So if they were to want to find out more about you, Kai, where can they go? What is the website that they can reach you at?
My website is Pathway of Power, pathwayofpower.com, www.pathwayofpower.com. I also have a Facebook group that I haven't opened yet, but it's out there. It's called the Pathway of Power Dojo. And I do plan to open that in the next coming weeks. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and I feel like no matter what our beliefs are, our perspectives, the stress is in our body, and it's universal, no matter what. And we store our trauma, we store our stress. It affects our sleep. Right now, I don't know about your tribe in here, but most people's sleep is disrupted. They're trying to figure out what's going on in the news right now. So yeah, just you can check out the website. There's a quiz on the website to figure out where you're losing the most energy in your life. You can take the quiz. It's called a power leak assessment. And and I would and if your tribe finds it useful, I would love to support the Ignite people to really implement what they're learning from you.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know about Ignite or are curious about Ignite, I'm going to drop a link for details on our year-long program. And part of the reason why you should join is because Kai might be in there. But also Kai has his own programs as well. And you can find his website. I dropped the link into the comments. If you want to have a session with him, or you want to go and be with that power, with all the knowledge for the year with him. So, all right, this is value-based. I don't have anything JV related with Kai, but we might bring him into Ignite for those of you who enjoyed today's session. All right, Kai, thank you so much. Any last words? And then I'll click end broadcast. So you have the last.
No, I'm so grateful to be here. I hope to see them in Ignite. And then if you have questions about morning routine, evening routine, sleep, supplements, diet, feel free to drop it in in the Facebook group. And then Kim, is that okay? And then you can get those questions to me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm here. I work best when I know what you need. You know, I know that sleep and morning routines, meditation, but it's good to know what you guys need specifically, and I'm happy to help if I can. So.
Yeah, people, my igniters, they love you, Kai. All right. Okay, thank you,
Great.
Kai.
Great.
Have a great
Thanks,
day.
Kim.
All right, bye,
Yep.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Oh yeah, if you like that video, then you will love all the resources that I have over at kimcdang.com. That is KIMCDANG.com. There you will find all my courses, my extensions, all the offers that I have, as well as a lot of free resources if you are just getting started.